The government needs to be candid, but we also, if we can afford to, need to be more prepared for our old age, particularly if we're going to be going into care. We need to examine our wealth, our savings, our income, and stand ready to make a contribution.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think when we talk to older people, they agree too that if people can afford it, they should contribute to a system. But it doesn't really work for everybody to save their own money in a little pot and then draw on it later on, because care is so expensive that unless you are extremely well off, you're unlikely to be able to save enough to have that put by if you do need care for a long time. That was the whole point of Andrew Dilnot's idea, which is that we all share the risk of having to develop those care needs, because not all of us will. Some of us won't need care at all. Some will need a bit. A few will need a lot. And it's the latter group that really get hit at the moment. And his idea was, well, let's contribute. Really, Ros was saying the same thing. Let's contribute through our lives in one way or other. And then there's a big pot for the whole country, a bit like we have for the NHS. And it does make a lot more sense, I think.
Do you agree also with my point and to a degree Ros's point that the real problem is not the numbers or the level of cap or what have you, it is the lack of honesty and clarity from ministers and officials in briefing, talking to me, I'm 69, you're younger than I am, there are others who are older than both of us. Yeah, this is what you need to stand ready to do rather than pretending that, this is the magic wand.
Well, it certainly isn't a magic wand. And, is it a pup or not? Yeah, it definitely is a pup. It was always going to be a pup, even before the government made its latest sort of change of drawing money out of the system. And that's because it only deals with one problem, which is this problem if you need care a long time and have to pay a lot for it. But as Ros said at the end of her interview, the bigger problem really is lots of older people can't get any care at all. And if they can get it, it's not very good. And that's because there's just not enough money in the system. And above all, that's down to the Treasury. And people like us watched the spending review with incredible interest and were hoping very much that the Chancellor would be generous to social care. But he wasn't. And so the end result is we've got this not very good solution that the government's tried to say will sort the problem out on the back of a really underfunded system. And it's a recipe for disaster and just for letting people down. So anybody who was hoping that things were going to be much better for them in future, unless they are extremely well off and need care for a long time and can take advantage of the cap, it looks like they're going to be very, very badly let down. And I don't think you can say to the British public and to older people, we're going to solve this problem for the future, and then a couple of months later say, oh, no, sorry, we're not going to do that now. We're going to take a big chunk of the money out. I just don't think that's just not fair. And it's not very reasonable either. And I think I agree with Ros. Obviously, we all deserve better than that.